Joining me now, Liberal MP, the member for Gippsland seat of Monash in Victoria, Mary Aldred. And you've written in the Herald Sun that both the federal and the state Labor governments need to get tough on tackling this issue. What should they do?
Well, this is particularly out of control in Victoria, where crime's just out of control across every metric. But I think there's two things that we need to confront this issue with. Chris Minns, the New South Wales Labor Premier, agrees we need to tackle the excise tax. It's gone up 282% since 2013, Steve, and this year it was bumped up by 5% again. The taxman's only taking is taking a total of $28 out of a pack of $50. I think take it down to 2018-19 levels, which would bring it down to about $25. As you say, an illegal pack is around $10 to $15. So we're well beyond the price point of trying to deter people from smoking.
So the tax is indexed, it goes up automatically?
Yeah, it does.
Well, you've got to stop that for a start, don't
Well,
you?
at least freeze it. At least freeze it. I'm saying I think we need to reduce it. The other thing we need to do is have a AFP task force. Coalition took a really good policy to the last election on this, state by state, with stop and search powers. I think we've got huge issues with illegal smoke shops in shopping complexes, and I've had them in my community where other retailers are really concerned about, fires, ram raids.
It's not legal to sell these things, is it?
No, but there's no enforcement.
So the police don't want to do the job.
And
The
local
state
council,
police don't want to do the job. They don't have the resources, I presume.
They don't have the resources, but they're banning from what I understand, their staff from going in and doing spot checks because they're worried about their safety, understandably. But that's why we need a beefed up AFP task force to really get tough on this, because we've got outlaw crims based overseas sticking ransom notes to legal, good small business owners' shops saying pay up or destroy your business. They're assaulting retail staff where they're stealing them from within Australia, and we've got to tackle this because I'm really worried someone's going to get hurt again.
Mark Butler, the Health Minister, seems to be in no hurry or doesn't seem to have the will to change the excise, to bring it down. He believes that will encourage people to smoke. I mean, my argument would be that people smoking already, the number has fallen dramatically since the bad old days. I don't believe that if you made legitimate cigarettes as cheap as the illegal imports, that you would suddenly see a spike in smoking.
Mark Butler doesn't want to know about it. Tony Burke doesn't want to know about it. The federal government's got their head in the sand. We've got conflicting figures here because ABS stats show that 22% of people have ditched smoking in the last 12 months, but that is running counter to the Australian Crime Intelligence Commission wastewater reports that show people, their smoking rates are actually up in the last year than they were 8 years ago. So it's not working, and we've got to look at the price points, which is driving behavioural economics, if you like.
Your seat's based around the regional community of Warragul. Why have you taken this on as a personal issue?
It's personal to me because it's impacting my local community. There was a well-publicised ram raid attack in Longwarry friendly grocery store. That's in my electorate a couple of weeks ago. They are good people. Their staff have been terrorised. I'm meeting on Monday with a group of local retailers. I won't say exactly where, but they have contacted me saying that there's another illegal smoke shop setting up. They're worried about ram raids, fires. There's a cafe and a clothing store. They're good people and they just want to go about their business safely.
So, I mean, better surveillance at the border. I mean, I drove past Webb Dock the other day when all those containers stacked up there. It's a hard job, but we do manage to pick up large consignments of cocaine or heroin or other illicit drugs. Are we just being overwhelmed by the amount of this stuff that comes in? I interviewed Shane Patton, the former police commissioner, last year, and he said the reason organised crimes turn to the tobacco trade is because if they get caught, prison terms are much lower than if they get caught trying to import illicit drugs.
I've heard that too, and I think the ATO said that $6 billion worth of illegal tobacco was stopped in 2022-23. So they're either bringing it in and the enforcement resources that the AFP are being given and Border Force I think are not sufficient. But if they're not bringing it in, then they're breaking into grocery stores here. And the concerning thing is, Steve, we've got more and more legal grocery stores, independent retailers saying, you know what, we don't want our staff assaulted, we're not going to take the risk, so we just won't sell legal cigarettes. And some people might go, great, that'll stop people smoking. Well, it won't, because they're just going to the black market.
I want to talk about the constant protest marches set up by a bunch of anarchists. We heard evidence today that they actually had a meeting, they planned to attack police, they worked out how to throw bricks at police officers. This happened at Melbourne University. It seems the pro-Palestinian marches have paused for a moment, but we can't have these anarchists out there pitching bricks and rocks at the police, can we?
No, and Brad Batten put it really well when he said Melbourne and Victoria are just becoming the protest capital of the world. I did my masters at Melbourne Uni. I've got some fond memories, but I tell you what, they really need to step up their game on this. I think Melbourne Uni, Sydney Uni have not acted quickly or strongly enough in the face of anti-Semitic protests, and now this is just absolutely disgraceful. I talked to local police in my electorate who just feel so demoralised and undervalued.
You're a strong Liberal voice. I mean, you're going to have to go back to Canberra next week. There's pressure on the leader, Susan Lee. We've had 2 of the Liberal senators today speak out about her strength of leadership. Can the Liberal Party get agreement on net zero next week?
Absolutely, we can. The Liberal Party aspires to represent Australians from all walks of life, from my regional community to metropolitan communities. Now, for me, I think we've got 3 imperatives in setting energy policy. Reliability has to come number 1, affordability has to be in number 2, and sustainability has to be in there as well. But at the moment, Labor's energy policy is an absolute farce. You've got regional communities like mine bearing all of the burden of the energy transition. We've got in Darnham, West Gippsland, this huge energy battery storage project right in the middle of prime dairy and horticultural land. So there's legitimate grievances which Labor are just, you should have seen the Prime Minister this week carrying on like a pork chop over those concerns. We've got to get the settings right. We've got strong voices within our party room. I'm confident that we'll see a path through, and we've got to make sure that we are all
Coalition
focused.
survives as a group?
I'm a strong coalitionist. I work really well with my neighbour Darren Chester in Gippsland, and we've got some great state MPs as well that we work very strongly as a united coalition team in the Gippsland region, and I think we'll be able to do that nationally as well.
Good luck next week, Mary Aldred. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Steve.